have the Hawks as the road team for today's Eastern Conference matchup. Kevin Harlan here, joining me, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and the entire 2K Sports crew. And for the Heat, we've got another hometown game here in Miami. This is a determined team right now, and they've gone 7-1 in what's been a terrific start to the season.
Kevin, this is really a great team. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to continue to play at this very high level. I mean, that's the makeup of this squad. Good character, tremendous talent. I mean, they very well could continue to play good basketball.
Yeah, there's no reason to think they won't, Clark, because I think you summed it up very well. I mean, from top to bottom, it's a terrific squad. As long as they stay healthy, I don't expect them to run into a whole lot of speed bumps.
A look at the State Farm starting five. Here's Atlanta's opening lineup. Smith and Horford at the 4 and the 5. Heinrich is out there with Tracy McGrady, and it's Beatrice in at the 3 spot. And for the Heat, LeBron and Bosch are the 3 and the 4. Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. And it's Haslam in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Haslam, following the basket by Kirk Heinrich. Here's LeBron. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall.
What a great year Josh Smith had a season ago for Atlanta. 17 points and about 9 rebounds per game. And his work at the defensive end, not only steals and blocks, but just his presence really bothers opposing players. So he's a major presence in there for Atlanta.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an up. Oh! Let's see that again on the Sprite Slam Cam.
Boy, that's a dunk you will not see very often. You won't pass that one by.
No doubt about that.
I wish he would, though. You can never see too many of those. And Atlanta's overall record might have fallen last year, but they stayed just as strong as ever against the East. They were able to chalk up 31 wins against Eastern Conference opponents.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on.
Here's McGrady. His last outing with 20 points. Wade picks him up. He dishes it to Petrus. No good on the 3. And the East was a lot stronger. Steve, you're right, this past year. Clark making Atlanta's mark even more impressive. We talked moments ago about how their win total wasn't all that good, but against the East, they did find success overall.
They did. They were a dominant team against the East in a lot of ways. The tide of the dominant conference shifted a bit. And fortunately for Atlanta, they were able to kind of keep up with that shift. Well, last year in the playoffs, LeBron was up to his usual tricks. He felt good about not having to carry the same load as he always had to, though, and that relieved him a bit and made him better in my mind. Flush that thing down, young fella.
That is a fierce two-hander.
Man, maximum force on that dunk.
Now McGrady defending. Chalmers dishes to Bosch. Lifts up. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. Bosch has got his first basket. Back to LeBron. You know, Clark, he didn't have to carry the load like he did up in Cleveland, but he still had some big-time shots for the Heat. And Steve, not necessarily in the regular season, but really in the postseason. That's where he stepped up big time.
Yeah, particularly in the first 3 rounds. In the finals, remember, he kind of took a step backwards, but in that Chicago series, he made some enormous shots in that series. He was so good offensively. And then all of a sudden against Dallas, it was like he lost his confidence. So he's still a little bit of a work in progress in terms of putting it all together.
Down low. Tries to keep it alive. The Hawks with a quick start to this game. It's a 5-point game. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
I was not impressed at all with their focus. It seemed like they were scattered at both ends of the floor. I think they've got to come out and take this game much more seriously.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Steve. I mean, I like to see teams play good, fast, loose, aggressive basketball, but it's got to be smart, too. And if that style translates into sloppiness and turnovers, then it needs to be scrapped.
And he's good on the second.
You know, when I look at Josh Smith, I can't help but think back to the 2005 dunk contest that he won. A lot of fantastic, spectacular dunks from him. A great display of his bounce ability.
James gets called for the reach. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The first free throw is good. Clark, I remember that dunk contest you brought up with Smith. Seeing him take off and dunk over a sitting Kenyon Martin still sticks out most to me, Steve.
Yeah, and how about the tribute to Dominique Wilkins as well when he took Dominique's jersey, put it on. That was one of the better dunk contests we've seen. And Smith, remember, he scored a perfect 50 on 3 of his 4 dunks. He was amazing. Great start here early on, but they've got to continue to play well to maintain that lead.
Boy, I tell you what, really nice start for him here, guys. Getting after it both ends of the floor, you got to like that.
LeBron, good.
Man, is he hard to defend. When you play him one way, he'll just go the other.
Here's Teague. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the first quarter. McGrady against Wade. Wade against McGrady. Again, the Hawks score.
They're allowing a sky-high field goal percentage. That won't get it.
Not at all. They've been able to score with ease.
LeBron kicks to Wade. LeBron outside. It'll count. And he beat the buzzer, but it's no good. And as we... Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback.
You know, you take a look at the makeup of the Heat and the offensive numbers last year. Not a ton of assists, but a lot of free throw attempts. FTAs, we call them. Seemed like they just played to their strengths, and a lot of that was isolating their star player.
On the court right now for the Hawks, Williams and Smith at the forward. Horford anchoring the middle. Willie Green out there with Heinrich.
A superb alley-oop there. Prime time play.
Well, they had that one standing by, just waiting to pull it out.
Now, there's definitely a sense of understanding between those two teammates, that's for sure.
Here's Heinrich. Well, Clark, you mentioned that stat about the Heat. Steve, surprising they didn't have more assists.
Well, they didn't have a true point guard running things. Mike Bibby was more of a jump shooter, same with Chalmers. But I think a lot of it is that they play very isolation-heavy basketball, as Clark mentioned.
Here's Green. 9-point game his last outing. Heinrich outside. Into Smith. Lays out. Ball's knocked loose. The Heat able to recover.
So a couple of poor possessions now in a row consecutively. Both times turnovers. That's not productive basketball. That's not winning basketball.
Now, Clark, you know, you start stringing errors back-to-back together, you lose all momentum in this game.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. And this is their first time matched up with this year's Heat team.
And in last year's season series, things did not go their way.
And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. LeBron James second. The fourth spot held by Dwayne Wade.
Well, these two guys both were phenomenal last year, and either one would be a guy you want to make sure he gets the ball, especially late in a game that you want to win.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Radmanovich is checked in. And Petra subbed in for Marvin Williams. Heinrich inside the three-point line. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Heinrich's got his second bucket of the night. And both teams really in the upper echelon of the conference. It's an important matchup this year.
Well, Kevin, they're battling for supremacy in the conference. There's going to be some heated battles between these top-tier teams. I tell you what, he's got a unique ability to shoot that three off the dribble, even if he's going full speed in transition.
For three, Pietrus. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
I like that. Trying to respond to that last three-pointer, but he couldn't get it to go.
5-on-4. Heinrich up top. 8 points his last outing.
And I like the aggressiveness defensively, forcing that mistake.
And then Wade slams it in.
That is sensational, fellas. I mean, just how dangerous is he with the ball in his hands like that?
I think the answer, Clark, to that, it's pretty easy.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, no question. He is a polished scorer, isn't he?
Special thanks to the camera crew as well for giving us that last Sprite slam cap. Tries to save it. The loose ball recovered by Atlanta. Here's Green. They get it back. Backing down is Petrus. Green kicks to Heinrich. And Bosch picks him up defensively. Horford against Anthony. Shot clock at 5. Here's Heinrich. Another shot. Miami grabs the miss. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
Yeah, and on the offensive end, I thought all the pieces fit together almost perfectly for them.
Well, I certainly got to agree with that, Steve. I mean, they were really working well together when they had the ball, and that's always the sign of a team that has good chemistry.
11 seconds left now here in the second. Feeds it to House. Back to LeBron. He's guarded by Williams.
Look at the game for Petrus. 7 points and a couple of nice steals, too.
Hello, I'm Damon Bruce, and welcome to the HP Halftime Report. We got a close one. Detroit with a loss to the Patriots.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Here's Wade.
Boy, the Hawks came into the postseason last year as the 5 seed and really weren't given too much of a chance, but they turned some heads against the Magic.
Wade and LeBron fill out the wings. Chris Bosh and Udonis Haslem down low. And it's House in at the point guard position. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Here's Horford. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That's on LeBron James.
Yeah, don't give up anything for free. I like that. Send him to the line.
Yeah, they don't want to sit back and watch you lay it in. I mean, make them earn it. Make them earn it. Don't give up anything easy.
That one misses. Well, back to the Hawks. They kind of backed into the postseason, losing, Steve, their last 6 regular season games.
Well, it shows sometimes that the regular season may not make any difference once the playoffs start. And I think Atlanta really caught fire in that first round against Orlando, won the series, and then gave Chicago some problems, too.
Wade is whistled for reaching in. That'll be his second foul of the game. It's stolen by Wade. And here's Miami. And LeBron throws it down hard.
Aggressive transition game leads to the easy hoop.
Yeah, I love to see these guys just trampolining to the hoop.
And LeBron's numbers last season really slipped in the early part of the year as he tried to adapt to his new teammates and his new surroundings. But as the season went on, he became more and more effective. And that was one of the reasons he ended up with a career high in field goal percentage, right around 51% from the floor.
4 on the shot clock. Out of bounds. And they retain possession. It's time now to look at the NBA's top shooting teams from a season ago. The Heat in second.
Hard to shoot the ball any better than they did. I mean, they weren't the best in the league, but they were pretty close.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And going back to what Steve was talking about with LeBron, if he's being more efficient, Clark, with the ball, I don't think he is too concerned with his numbers, with his totals.
Kevin, that's one of the beauties of LeBron James' game to me. He's interested in playing the game of basketball at the highest level. If that means giving it to another player who's open, he's fine with that. If that means taking shots, he's fine with that. I love the fact that he's comfortable in who he is and is not worried about what other people think he should be doing.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
Well, McGrady just isn't the same guy that he was in the early part of his decorated NBA career. His knees have bothered him the last couple of seasons. And so he's not the same guy, but occasionally he'll find a way to give you a glimpse of that old Tracy McGrady.
And Smith backing in. A jump hook. That's good. Smith's got 5 now. The Heat with the lead. They're going back to T-Mac. If he can still provide that special moment for a team every so often, that may make him valuable enough to keep around.
I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, just seeing him take over or make a big play can lift and elevate a team. I think his presence, obviously you're not going to get it on a regular basis, but when those moments are available, I think he can add some real value to a team because he can be special on occasion.
Here comes Kirk Heinrich. Even numbers, 4-on-4. Has him against Horford. And here is McGrady. Heinrich outside. From deep. Leaps for it. He gets hauled in by the Heat. Bosch has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, neither team has really gained an edge rebounding-wise here, and the score reflects that.
Well, if one team can start hitting the boards harder, I mean, it'll give them a good chance to pull away.
Out of bounds, and they'll keep possession. The Heat making a switch here. Curry's checked in. Then for the Hawks, Marvin Williams is checked in for Petrus. And it's Teague in for Kirk Heinrich. There's 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. And a dunk by Horford. And that ties it up.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
Curry passes it to Wade. Curry a screen on McGrady. LeBron up top. Outside, House. Incredible shot to beat the buzzer.
Boy, that is such a huge play. I mean, a lot of guys would rush that and throw off their mechanics.
Now let's check in with Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Eddie House gets our Sprite Spark Award. He's been everything you could ask for in a sixth man in this game as he's come up big for his team off the bench. Guys, can he keep that productivity up? We'll see.
Thank you, Doris. He gave them guys just what they were looking for off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I think the game would have been a totally different looking game if not for what he brought to the table.
Well, it didn't take him any time to get into the flow of the game either. I mean, as soon as he got out there, he was ready to roll.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Hawks, Williams and Smith are in there at the forward positions. Teague out there with Willie Green. And it's Pachulia in at the 5, down low. Curry dishes to LeBron. Wade. Straight up. Hammers it home.
You know, I'm not big on fancy. Hey, if you can make it happen, make it happen. Effective is what's important.
Doesn't matter how you get the points, right, Clark?
That's right.
As long as you get them, Steve.
Put them in the hole. 2-2-2.
Yeah, exactly right. Just get it done.
Pachulia kicks to Williams. Bosch hits the reach-in call. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Green. From the arc. Rebound by the Heat. Bosch has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Stolen away as they knock away the alley-oop attempt. The Hawks trail by 3. Baseline try. Some solid defense from Bosch. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. And LeBron throws it down hard.
Boy, how about the touch on that pass? Lobbed it up there nice and soft. Feathery.
Yeah, looked like it made Steve for a pretty easy catch.
Well, the pass may have been soft, but the dunk was anything but.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. For the Hawks. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He talked about their problems at the free throw line, but tried not to make too big a deal out of it. He said, listen, if we keep getting to the line, the ball will start going through the net. The important thing is, keep getting there. Maybe that'll take a little pressure off them, guys.
Here's McGrady. Goes up off the inbound. Horford. That's good. Great play set up by T-Mac. Tracy McGrady. 7 points for Horford. The Heat leading by 3. Here is House. And the Heat, another 3.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yeah, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Horford, no luck.
Boy, surprised to see that one stay out.
Me too, Steve. I mean, those are ones that usually go down for sure.
That is good. And it's an 8-point Heat lead.
Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots. And that's what they've done.
Oh, and the jam by LeBron. Big time action. Strike slam cam once again.
Another bucket, and they are just pulling away here now.
Yep, no doubt about it. They're sprinting to the finish line.
Now Heinrich. He passes to Horford. Haslam's there. Will it go? Cannot hit. And it's the Heat taking it the other way. House kicks to Wade. Launches a 3. Good. And the Heat lead by 13.
Looks like it's over. Double-digit margin, clock running down. Just take care of the ball now.
Yep, it's a simple equation. This one's over. Use